there in podcast land. This is the Broken Battery Podcast. Correction, the Broken Battery Pop Culture Podcast, brought to you by Broken Battery Entertainment, your one-stop shop for all things pop culture and our reviews on everything ranging from movies, TV shows, comics, books, video games, online humor, music. It's all here, and we're giving you the facts about our opinions. So, Joe is my co-host today.
Hi, Travis.
Hola, Joe. I know a little Espanol.
See.
And today, well, my spotlight, one of my favorite segments on this show, where we always spotlight something we really enjoy that's out there right now, that's in any type of media. I am going to spotlight the God of War series, which I think is one of the few exclusive PlayStation titles. I absolutely adore this. It has great lore, great background. If you've never played the games, I would suggest you pick them up and give them a whirl because, quite frankly, they're quite amazing.
That dog is getting attacked by the cat and vice versa.
Yeah, there's a dog getting attacked by a cat, and don't talk to me about pet inequality. That shows that we're on a truly equal playing ground when it comes to pets attacking one another. Next thing you know, you're going to see turtles attacking fish. So, Joe, you have anything you'd like to spotlight this week?
Nah, you know what? Let's just jump into the topic, Trev.
Okay. So, one thing that people keep asking me, they're like, Travis, what do you think is really offensive? And I'm like, well, I don't find many things offensive because I believe in freedom of speech. And, I mean, given, you should, certain shit, there is such thing as tact. You should not have to say, like, you shouldn't have to, don't swear in front of kids. I mean, maybe a little bit, but don't be vulgar.
I'm guilty of it.
We're all guilty of it, but I'm saying there are certain things.
I mean, what about things that you didn't notice, but someone else told you about it, so then you should be offended by it, but then you were like, no, that's not really that big of a deal.
No, it's not, especially if it's embedded there. We're talking about things that are like, we're talking about things that they're getting nice and wedged into stuff that's geared towards kids, young adults, that not necessarily need to be exposed to that stuff. Basically, we're talking about PG and under. You know, we're not talking about PG-13. We're not talking about R-rated. We're not talking about anything beyond that. And we're talking about, of course, video games, TV shows, movies, things of those natures. Now, you don't see a lot of books having stuff intertwined in it to confuse and run jokes in there because you're not going to sit there with a kid and read them, say, A Tale of Two Cities or Moby Dick or something like that. But with people watching movies such as Disney films, which are notoriously known for doing things of this nature, and similar TV shows, we came across a decent amount of things that happened where they popped up. We found some dirty stuff and things that just got put in there. We're thinking maybe by accident? No. This is no accident. This is put in there. So we're going to look at...
It's too convenient.
No, too convenient. And we're going to find offensive things thrown into media that you just didn't notice before. I'm going to get this fire lit, and we're going to go forward with some of the most notorious ones is Disney movies. Like
they're horrible for it.
Yes, they are so bad. And it's been going on for years. I mean, I remember one in particular, Joe. Let's talk about The Little Mermaid for a minute.
On The Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid.
On the cover of the DVD.
The original DVD.
The original... I'm sorry.
VHS.
On the original VHS, there is flat out a outshoot on that castle that is a big old donger, dude.
It's got a vein. My cousin Erica had it.
Yeah, it's... I mean, I still have the VHS tape. I won't mark on it, but I should. I mean, that's the only thing it's worth for. I mean, I can't play it anymore. I don't have a VHS player, but I still have it.
I mean, I have a reel-to-reel, if that'll work.
No, not in this case.
Well, the thing is how much are those things worth now?
They're worth a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as bad. I mean, it's not.
I don't know why you would pay extra money to play something, on a dead medium. But, I mean, but records are a thing. So, let's go on to that.
And there's still record stores, which still baffles me. Oh, it sounds more alive.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well. I heard that they record those on water.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I hear all kinds of things, Joe.
Yeah.
But the buck doesn't stop right there with the cover of The Little Mermaid, because there's something inside the movie as well. Now, The Little Mermaid, the broken down Disney version of it is a mermaid sees a beautiful prince, becomes a human being.
He's super handsome.
He's so handsome,
dreamy,
and he's rich too. Don't fail to point out that he's rich.
Is he?
Yeah, it's a seaside kingdom. He's a prince. I mean,
okay.
And so she gets turned into a human being because she makes this pact with this evil sea witch, and she's gotta, I don't know, seduce him. That's just like lack of a better word.
I think they have to find true love's kiss.
True love's kiss.
I've watched it a couple times.
Not date rape. Yeah. True love's kiss. Yep. So anyway, the sea witch sees that this could possibly be a snafu, so she turns herself into a human being and bewitches the prince, and is going to marry the guy. Yep. Well, during the marriage scene, the priest gets a boner. There's no other way I can actually get around to it. He pops one, and it's so subtle.
I mean, realistically, it's just a line in the wrong place, but they didn't take it out.
No, they didn't take it out. They didn't change it, and
it's still in there today.
Did you really?
Yeah, it's still there.
Moving forward from there, we got another one. The time-honored movie Aladdin. Oh yeah.
I can show you the world.
It shows you other things. It shows you just how well people can sneak shit into a movie. Because at one point in the movie, you hear somebody yell, it's all jumbled together. Like they recorded it real fast. It said, all teenage girls need to take off their clothes.
That is wrong on so many levels, Travis.
I am super offended. But we're not offended. The thing is you put it in a G-rated movie. And don't get me wrong. The genie, who was voiced by the late, great Robin Williams. That guy, I mean, he was the embodiment of cocaine. He was.
Nanu.
Still didn't understand that show. Mork and Mindy still didn't get it. He came down in an egg. I mean, what was he supposed to do?
I don't know.
But anyway,
I love those suspenders, though.
Well, in Aladdin, they say all girls need to get naked. Teenage girls get naked. I'm like, okay, so yeah, you did this. You put it in a G-rated movie. Okay, why are you putting it in a G-rated movie? Now, mind you, you
have to pay close attention in order to hear it. Right. But it happens.
It happens. It's an Easter egg. Isn't that what they call it now?
Yes.
But I mean, the genie made a lot of low crass, low brow humor jokes that kind of pointed at. I mean, in the third Aladdin movie, there's the ground shakes, and he says something like, "Oh, I thought the ground wasn't supposed to shake until the honeymoon." And I'm like, "Oh, nice." Of course, at the time, I didn't know what the fuck he meant, but now I'm like, "Oh, that's something for the kids." For the adults.
I've seen it, but I was a little bit older. Yeah. I'm a little bit older than you are. I mean, I got it, but at the same time, I was like, "Oh, okay, we can take it from there."
Oh. So, okay, next up is The Lion King. And mind you, these are the most notable ones. I heard about these for years, and I'm just commenting on it because I figured everybody else has commented on it. So I'm just going to throw my hat into the ring. One part in the movie, the lion, Simba was his name, right?
I guess so.
Yes. He paws the dirt. The dirt flies up, and it spells sex. And I had somebody actually, SFX was the sound people that did the movie, or they did graphics or whatever.
Well, then they spelled it wrong because they totally put sex in that dust.
And, you're just trying to get it across there. We get it. You're being clever. How's that working out for you being clever?
Oh, it's working out quite well.
There wasn't much to The Lion King besides that. I mean, it's basically Hamlet, but with lions in the after.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in all honesty, I'm sorry. In all honesty, I have only seen that scene of The Lion King. I have not deprived myself of that time of my life by watching that movie.
I figured because you got tiny children that watched it, and I figured they were watching.
Oh, no, I mean, my kids, they put on movies all the time, and they're all like, Dad, did you like it? I was like, what was your favorite part? And I was like, the credits.
I remember the title quite well.
Yes.
And then everything went black. Next up is one that I was surprised about this, and I've only seen this movie once, and it's an older one. It's called The Rescuers. I don't know. You've seen The Rescuers, right?
Yep.
And
my grandma took me to see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another Disney
Not
movie.
The Rescuers Down Under.
No.
Just The Rescuers.
This is the one that's set in, New York?
Yeah, I believe so.
Something like that.
Or a New York type
An urban
setting.
An urban metropolis.
Indeed. Urban metropolis.
Yes, but The Rescuers, I mean, is about these two mice that were trying to prevent somebody from being kidnapped. I'm like, what kind of secret organization employs mice that's going to save children? Whatever.
Was it The Aristocrats?
No.
Oh, that was another crappy Disney movie.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Well, anyway, in this, there's a scene where now their mode of transit in this movie is they're flying around on a dirty seagull or a pelican or whatever. Skyrat.
Yeah.
We're just going to call him Skyrat because you know what? I would have been more into the movie if they had a cool name like Skyrat. But they're flying by, and in one, it's a blink and you could miss it moment, but there's a picture of a topless chick with her tits hanging out. Hey.
Missed it as a kid.
Went back and found it as an adult.
I believe that I saw it on a YouTube video and I was like, holy shit.
Right. How did that get in there?
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe it.
There. Disney, this virtuous company.
Hey.
I can't even believe it.
What? They're not just in it for the money. Come on, man.
No, not them.
Now, there's other things like we were talking about a little bit. Now, that pretty much does it up. If we missed any Disney stuff that we just referenced, feel free to email the show. I'll put the description in the box below, and you send us it. And you can tell us we're wrong or we're stupid or whatever. That's fine. But feel free to reach out, and we love a good banter. I love hearing from people that listen. And
remember that email box is not monitored. Just kidding. We'll answer.
We will answer. But we're going to move on from Disney. And we were talking about movies that, I don't know if this movie is for kids. I know I loved it as a kid. It's live action. It's Ghostbusters.
What scene could you actually be talking about, Travis?
I don't know. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's about a dream scene. It's a dream scene.
Is it? It's not necessarily a dream scene. It's actually a scene of people sleeping.
It's a fantasy scene.
Yeah.
It's more like it.
I remember one time, it was around Halloween, and the kids were looking for something to watch.
Yeah.
And the wife says, oh, we're going to watch some Thumbelina. I was like, no. And I was like, here, watch Ghostbusters. Let's watch Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And then, so I think I went to my hockey game, and then I came back from my hockey game, and she was like sitting there. She was like, what the hell was going on? You tell me to watch this. There's a straight up BJ scene in this movie. And I was like sitting there, and I was like, oh, yeah, I guess there is.
Yeah, because I do. Right from the jump, that's not what you think about. You think about like the hotel, you think about Gozer, you think about the dogs and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my God, there was a blowjob scene in this.
I mean, being I believe it's PG.
It is?
It's a PG movie.
Yes.
But I mean, there's a straight up,
blowjay.
Straight up right in the middle of the movie. I still hear about it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Can't believe you let the kids watch Ghostbusters. I was like, well, I didn't push play, honey.
I didn't. Now, if you got a gun, if an organ grinder has a gun, and the organ grinder gives it to a monkey, and the monkey shoots somebody, who do you blame? Do you blame the monkey or the organ grinder?
I don't know.
I'm not calling anybody a monkey.
You can't really speculate on that one.
But yeah, the thing is, this stuff isn't just relegated to like movies and TV shows and things like that. I mean, so far we only named movies, but there's a lot of TV shows, especially now. They work this humor in there. And again, this isn't what we're talking about. We're talking about the shit that hits you in the face once you you come across it. It's like there's no way around it. There's a show that was on called Cow and Chicken.
I'm familiar with it.
Yes, and believe it or not, I love that show. It was really funny. I never saw this episode, well, mainly because I never had cable growing up. Oh, I know. Sob story. But anyway, there was this episode of Cow and Chicken where it actually got pulled by the network, and because it featured about this all-female biker gang that were called the Buffalo Gals. And I don't know if you did some research on this because I mentioned it to you before, but they look very, very. All right, I'm using this term, butch. They look very butch, and
a little bit.
Yeah, and their thing is they randomly bust into people's houses and start gnawing on their carpet, and by carpet I mean rug. And apparently everything's okay now because I think you can find the clip on YouTube. We're not going to put the link there. I think half the fun is finding this shit out for yourself. But yeah, the Buffalo Gals from Cow and Chicken. I mean, there was one where they, I think in the same show, Cow and Chicken, where I think Cow told his brother, the chicken, don't accept cigarettes from big naked men off the street or something like that. I'm like, yeah. I mean, we appreciate the public service announcement, but you got to put that in a kid's show. Yeah, okay, we get it. I actually did some dirty dive detective work, and well, I found out a bunch of. You remember the Commodore 64 and Amiga game systems?
I do.
Yeah, I mean, like they're big all over, and like, and I want to give a shout out to a few channels that I looked over. And like one of them is Larry Bundy Jr., who is on YouTube, and he has great sources. And I did some research. He helped me out with it. I mean, I didn't speak with him. I looked at it and I found the info.
Wait, you didn't talk to him?
No, I didn't talk to him.
Oh, you just read something on the internet?
Yeah, I know, right?
All right, that's cool.
Research. Yeah, it's research.
Okay.
Anywho, but anyway, like there is a bunch of passcodes that are just offensive. They're offensive, and
like Justin Bailey and Metroid.
Yeah, exactly. Justin Bailey and Metroid. He put his stuff in like Samus was wearing like this onesie, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and or was she naked? Like,
no, she was like wearing a skirt.
Yeah, so I mean that wasn't too bad, but you're like, whoa. And this is because those passcodes are a rudimentary form of computer programming. And sometimes they happen on accident, or sometimes people purposely make this shit happen.
As a person that works in computers, I'd say that nothing is on accident, Travis.
So, on the TurboGrafx 16, there was a game called The Devil's Crush. This is a game where you kill demons with a pinball. You're playing pinball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you want to get 68 balls and 497,438,600 points, you just got to type in asshole fuck in the passcode.
Are you serious?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's just like I'm like, well, obviously, if you're a kid, you're gonna do that. I mean, you're gonna get away dirty. Like, think your parents sit there and look at it.
I mean, shit. Do you remember the shit you used to do? I'd like, boobless on a calculator or boobs on a calculator.
Boobs, look at boobs. Yeah, it's 8 and
loose. Shit, you did everything.
Fuck, man. Yes, you did. You're like, what can I do right now just to show I showed everybody by making boobs appear on this calculator.
Or boobless.
Boobless.
Yeah.
I don't
remember the math problems you had to do to get to those?
No.
Yeah.
What was it?
There were like math problems that you had to do to it, and then people were just like, "Screw it, I'll just type it in."
You know, and that was actually a teacher that cared. I really believe a teacher cared with that. He's like, well, okay, they're going to do this, and they're going to think.
How do I
really
get
funny.
these boys interested in math?
How do I reach these kids? Another one is, believe it or not, this is, I'm going to be surprised by this. It was on NES. It was Super Mario Brothers 1 and 3.
Okay.
Little disclaimer here. You got to use a Game Genie to do this one because you're going to be like, Travis, there's no passcodes on Super Mario Brothers. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, well, you got to use Game Genie. And you type in...
That's cheating.
It is. Power to the players. You got to type in gay suck. And it
What? That's the code?
That's the code, gay suck with no C.
Gotta love the 80s.
Yeah, gotta love the 80s and get away with all kinds of stuff. And it causes a gravity delay, and all question mark blocks remain active even if they're empty. So if you hit them, they still got the question mark on there. Oh. The gravity delay is if you just walk off the side of something, you'll just keep going.
Oh.
Yeah. I found that interesting.
I did not know that. I never had a Game Genie because I was pretty good at games, so I didn't need one.
Oh, so you weren't a dirty cheater.
No. And I probably wouldn't have known that code. I mean,
No.
who puts that code out there?
I agree. And next up is the Sega Mega Drive. Jurassic Park. You ever played the Jurassic Park game?
I don't believe that I have.
I played it. I thought it was kind of cool, but then again, I was small. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're Dr. Grant. I'm like, cool. You play as a paleontologist in a video game.
Like an old man?
Yeah, like Sam Neill.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam Neill. Okay.
You're like, no, not John Hammond.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I never played the game.
Yeah, well, you play as Dr. Grant. You got to get across the island. For some reason, you have a tranquilizer gun in it. I don't get it. Whatever. You find like weapons like tasers and shit. Of course, everything except for the grenades are non-lethal. So you type in, if you want to get skipped to level 8, you just type in asshole with no E. Yeah, I think you're an asshole.
With no
too.
A?
No E.
No E?
Yeah, it's asshole.
Oh, okay.
And I think to myself, I'm like, oh, maybe you are an asshole for skipping right to level 8.
I know somebody that met somebody that's name was Ashhole.
Ashhole?
Yeah. That was on there. It was like, is your name really asshole? And they're like, no, it's asshole.
Of course. Of course it is. Because you're not going to say, hey, my name's asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
So then, same game, Jurassic Park, if you type in cunt PJ, he skips to the last level.
I'm sorry, what game was this? Still Jurassic Park?
Still Jurassic Park.
And this is a regular code within the game, no Game Genie.
No Game Genie.
That's
in the past,
ridiculous.
I know, cunt PJ. And I'm like, well, who's PJ? And I'm like, well, I mean, you see, these programmers have power. Like, they're staying power. Like, you don't know who PJ is, but they want you to let you know what the score is with that person.
Yeah, these Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. Okay, so you mentioned Metroid.
Love that game.
Oh, I do too. And it was one of I think the main 3 games that sold NES to a lot of people. It was Mario, Metroid, and Zelda.
Okay.
So Metroid has, like I said, it was basically a binary programming system when it came to this to get all your stuff when you put the passcodes in. So sometimes this shit would just pop up on its own. So there's this one, it says Mother Brain is fucking toast. It starts off the game with Mother Brain's dead. So there's no way you can beat the game. So you got to hurry up and get the hell out of there because once Mother Brain dies, there's a countdown.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm like, well,
so do you start at the first level and you have to get out?
You got to get out.
Do you have all your weapons and stuff?
I believe so. I think you have some.
Okay.
You don't have all of them.
Okay.
Next up.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah. There's another passcode that's really well known. It's called Engage Ridley Motherfucker. Has you clocked into the game with over 2 million hours of game time, and it starts the game off with screen errors, and you can't turn into a morph ball, and the game can't scroll, it could crash your console and fry the game cartridge as well.
That's on Metroid?
That's on Metroid. It says engage Ridley motherfucker.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try that, like, on a RetroPie system or something like that.
I would, but, like, it was crashing, like, DS's. Like, when they released it not too long ago, like, a couple years ago, it was fucking up their DS. And I'm like, wow.
Well, I mean, if you screw up a Raspberry Pi, I mean, you're...
No.
It's just an SD card. Who cares?
That's all it is.
Yeah. You can just format it,
Oh, absolutely.
start over.
There's the fuck you Ridley code as well in there, and it gives you a bunch of like missiles and shit, but it's nothing that big.
Ridley was a boss, right?
Yeah. Everybody, it was the boss that everybody hated to fight.
The bird one.
Yeah, fuck that bird.
Yeah,
fuck that bird.
Yeah. He was an asshole.
We don't care for you. Now there is Metal Gear. Is one of my all-time favorite video game franchises.
Are we talking about Metal Gear NES?
NES Metal
Gear.
Okay. Yes.
All right, let's go.
And so this is a well-known one that was well-known for the North American launch for this. It was called, it just typed in fuck. And it dropped you off at the big boss fight at the end with various items like rockets and stuff like that. And it was well-known, and it never came out in the Europe versions because people knew what it was. But then there's like the next one down here is fuck me 111111111111111, and it drops you off at the boss fight.
Is that an accurate amount of ones that you just said?
I don't know. I got a lazy eye.
Okay,
I don't really have a lazy eye. I'm quite handsome. So not that people that have lazy eyes are handsome. So don't get offended.
Canceled.
I'm gonna get like a soundbite that does that. It goes, you've been canceled. So you do that one, and it drops you off at the boss fight with no weapons and only a pack of cigarettes. And I'll tell you something right now. I get why you have the cigarettes in the Metal Gear Solid game.
To smoke?
Yes, to smoke and to blow it out and see like laser trip layers and shit.
Well, I mean, everybody knows that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's not intuitive thinking at all, especially on fucking the NES when you gotta there was no internet. Nintendo had a tip line that you had to pay them to listen to.
Yeah, no. Nintendo, now you're playing with power.
Playing with punk asses is more like it.
You know that people made a lot of money doing that, right?
Oh,
those, what were they? They were the Power Pros, or
they're Power Pros. I saw a video about one guy talking about it. He goes, "Yeah, I didn't know anything about video games, and I got this job as a Power Pro. Paid off my car in no time." Okay, so the next one, because there's more for the Metal Gear ones.
Let's keep going.
It's like, this one actually makes me laugh a little bit hard. It's fuck you, okay, Juan Carlos. I don't know. And of course, the fucking...
That's a code?
Yeah, it's a code.
Okay.
Of course, all these are smashed together. There's no spaces.
Okay.
Of
course.
It starts off right before the big boss fight with good weapons, missiles, grenades, rocket launcher, mines, and key cards. But I don't know why you gotta have fucking key cards, because it's at the end of the game.
Well, what if you want to go back?
Why?
Why fuck you, Juan Carlos? I mean,
I want to know who Juan Carlos is. This is worth looking into. Nah, not really, but still, the motherfucking shithead 2 is just the same as.
This is a code called motherfucking shithead 2?
Yes. This is another code that same as the last one, but
who figured these out? 12-year-old boys?
Exactly. You mean? Is this the same demographic that were this gear totally marketed?
I just don't know where this came from.
But it's
these are games for children, for Christ's sakes.
This is a fact.
Huh?
Well, Hideo Kojima doesn't see it that way.
Huh?
He's that eccentric programmer. He's like, everything.
I mean, for Christ's sake, they called it the family computer system.
The Famicom?
Yes. Loosely translated.
Yes. But those are the most prevalent ones in Metal Gear. But, it wasn't just passcodes that they did this shit to, Joe. They also did it to just like for the Amiga, like I referenced earlier.
Yes. The Commodore Amiga?
Yeah, Commodore.
That was a pretty beefy thing for its time, right?
Yeah, it had a key.
Didn't they do Babylon 5 was like completely done
on the Commodore
Amiga? On the Commodore Amiga.
I did not know that.
Yeah, completely.
Fucking Casablanca.
It was a very superior system at the time.
Yeah. It also, one thing about the Commodore Amiga, it had a keyboard.
Yep.
And you could type shit in during the game.
Okay.
And these are passcodes, these are password. Last thing I mentioned were passwords. These are passcodes that people could put in during the game and get shit. And these are going to be some games. I'm going to rattle these off, Joe, because I know you're a big gamer.
I like video games.
As do I. But tell me if you remember any of these. And like some of these are only prevalent in Europe.
Okay. Well, being that I'm not from Europe, I guarantee I'm probably not going to know most of these.
Well, I mean, okay. So there is Destruction Derby. You ever played it?
The video game?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, this one's pretty tame. It's 2 max ARPU, and you unlock like tracks and stuff. Like, oh yeah, that's funny.
Okay,
it's not too bad.
Okay.
Then we're gonna skip.
Trev.
This one's for the Commodore 64 and Amiga. Is CJ the Elephant Antics?
That's a code?
No, it's a game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never played it.
All right. Well,
don't even know that one.
At this password screen in this, you got to put in hairy assholes. You get infinite lives. I don't know if elephants have hairy assholes, but I mean,
if they are gonna have hair somewhere, they might
there.
have it there.
And here's the next one on the same systems: Menace.
Menace the game.
Yeah,
never played it.
Okay, password you type in XR3I turbo nutter bastard.
Whoa. And what's that get you?
And maxes out supplies of shields, cannons, and lasers. It was like a side-scrolling shoot 'em up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Like I
no,
said,
I mean, like, I'm just going to tell you right now, my knowledge of the Commodore Amiga is that
limited.
Babylon 5
was made on it.
That's about it.
I remember the TV show.
And you know what? And if you want to talk about Babylon 5, I know just about as much as that.
All I know is
as I do about those games you just mentioned.
Babylon 5. Yeah, if you know much about Babylon 5, feel free to message us and let us know about.
Let us know. Let us know about Babylon 5.
We know it's something.
Yeah.
And I don't want to waste my life.
Show with those guys they were like obsessively bald but had the hair on the sides.
Yeah, I mean they basically look like any guy that goes to the day shift at a titty bar.
The guy with his sweatpants. He's the guy with sweatpants. Got to get a lap dance.
Hands in his pockets when he walks in the door. Why?
Here we go.
Next up is Viz the computer game. At the computer screen.
Same system?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At the computer screen, type in "what a large set of bollocks," which is referring to Buster Gonads, who is one of the characters. And I saw an image of this character. It's just, you remember Randy from that one episode of South Park where he wanted to get testicular cancer?
Yes, and he was bouncing on his balls like they were the little jumpy thing.
Yeah, like this one is like a racing game between these 3 characters, and from my understanding is all 3 of these characters were from like a UK like adult-oriented like comic strip. Yeah. Well, anyway, this is referencing.
They have a bunch of stuff over there that they think is funny, and I can't stand it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Jerry Lewis in the French. I don't find Jerry Lewis hilarious.
No, not at all.
But no, this code lets you skip levels. But it was like a racing game, but it wasn't. You weren't in cars.
It was about jumping on balls.
Well, the one guy's holding his nuts when he's running. It's the only part. Next up,
so it's like a hot dog race at a baseball game.
Pretty much.
But balls.
But balls.
Okay. All right.
So next up for the Amiga is the New Zealand story. Like again, I doubt you even heard this one because
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Apparently, it was huge in England. So
I'm actually going to get these ROMs and I'm going to try to play these games.
Please do. We could review.
We can do it right now after this is over.
Let's do this.
Yes.
So the New Zealand story, you got to type in motherfucking Kiwi bastards. Level skip and infinite lives.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
And this one particular game for the Commodore Amiga.
This is New Zealand.
No. This is the New Zealand story.
Oh, okay.
So apparently it was about kiwis, adorable little birds.
The birds or the fruit?
I think it was about the birds.
I heard both are delicious.
I never want to go to say like some fast food restaurant and like I'm in New Zealand like kiwi sandwich awesome man I bite into it and it tastes like meat and I'm like oh no
yep. You want it to taste like seedy bananas.
You like seedy bananas. So this one whoever programmed this particular game for the Commodore Amiga really did like their work. They put in a lot of like just dirty passcodes and stuff like that. And my understanding, this is like an overhead shooter. Like you ever played Smash TV? Yeah. It's not like there's tons of people.
Like a Robotron 2084 sort of thing.
Kind of like you're running around Contra. Not Contra. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
Robotron 2084.
2084. Yeah.
One of the best games ever made.
Right.
Yep. 2 joysticks. Good time.
But this is called Alien Breed.
Okay.
And Alien Breed, obviously, it's ripping off Alien, but it's not. I don't think it's licensed by Alien or Ridley Scott, but whatever. So there's this second level where you got to put stuff into a console like a computer, and this is where you put all these codes, okay? And like this, there's a list, okay? So I'm gonna go down.
Okay.
You got.
Please make sure you're very thorough.
Yeah, this one.
And tell us what the codes give us. And everything, because I'm sure this is going to be pretty good.
Yeah, but still, there's U.S. gold, and it resets your score.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's PC emulator, makes all computers useless, like in the game.
So all the things that you're doing everything on at that moment.
Yeah, like
because you go into a computer and you put these in, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I've been on the Curry again.
The Curry?
I've been on the Curry again. Makes your gun make fart noises when you're shooting it.
That's a sweet code.
That is a sweet code, and it's not even that bad.
Like I once tried to buy a house, and I did not buy it because it smelled too much like curry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh,
anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
I do like curry, but
not too much.
Too much of it, no. Give me power, you poxy fuckwit. Gives player 1 15,000 credits.
For?
Is it?
Oh, okay.
Here's one. It says, let me sponge some cash, you twat. Gives player 2 50,000 credits. Yeah.
Okay.
I eat pit bulls for fucking breakfast, mate. They put a mate in there. That's so.
Well, I mean, you got to complete the chain.
Of course. Gives player 1 7 lives. This one, I wonder if Dolly Parton's fanny is as big as her tits. It skips to level 5. Now, mind you, this is an English-developed game. Fanny means vagina.
Oh.
A little bit of British slang for everybody out there. Fanny means vagina in the UK.
I bet you that Dolly Parton's
representatives in that
fanny is not as big as her tits.
925, they're not. And the good Lord said, let there be flap shots. Skips to level 4. More British slang for vagina.
Flap shots?
Yes.
Man.
I know.
Oh.
Thank you. This is the informative moment of the Broken Battery
Flap
podcast.
shots.
Flap shots.
Flap shots.
You're totally using it.
I love it.
Yes. Blimey governor, look at the size of his John Thomas.
I wonder what that's a reference to. We don't even got to say it.
Why the fuck do the British got to call it 2 words to make it up for one? like I'm going to call it a John Thomas. I don't even know why the reasoning behind it. And this gives infinite energy for player 2. So apparently you're looking at player 2's Wang and being like, well, look at
yeah. Nice Johnson.
Okay, here's the next one is Past the Bucko's Knob Face. Infinite door keys for player 2.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right?
Why is it that player 2 only benefits from these things? So player 1 has to put these in?
I guess so.
So seems like a pretty useless game.
One would think I haven't played it yet, but we're gonna check it out.
No, we're gonna check it out after this. We have to.
Okay, so here's one. You type in Stevie Wonder, it makes the screen go black.
Oh,
that's in poor taste. Did I laugh a little bit reading it? Yes. Okay, but
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm really not. We should delete this part of the podcast. I'm not really, comfortable with that. You can't help it.
I can't help it. And okay, here's the next one. Ben Johnson trained these aliens. It makes the aliens lightning quick.
When you said Ben Johnson, I was like thinking about the
Olympic guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a British guy, right?
He's a British guy that got caught for doping.
Yeah, he's like super fucking fast and a cheater.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect for these passcodes.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, this one up.
Are we still on the same game?
Yes.
This is ridiculous.
Here's another one. This one is like I said, this guy went for broke on these. Okay, so we're not to blame. We're just reporting these.
Okay.
Man.
Just informative reasoning only. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Man, UTD can't fly airplanes. UTD means United. And this was skipped to level 6. And this is referencing the 1958 plane flight that crashed, killing a number of the soccer club's players. Oh. That's a dick move. That's a super.
Wow.
Yep. And okay, so here it is. The most offensive thing on this game that's had some pretty offensive shit. Aliens are faggots. Wow. Makes the aliens run away from you.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're scared?
I guess so. Who does this?
Canceled.
Cancel. Well, folks, that's pretty much what we got for you this week. If you got any more things that people slid into games, movies, TV shows, we're more than willing to listen and bring them up on the show, because this is only Volume 1. Volume 2 will be not next week, but sometime down the road. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for listening. Please feel free to subscribe and follow us on social media, YouTube, our Facebook page, Rumble, and as well as on Podbean.
Yeah, everybody stay off the pipe. Don't forget to wipe. And remember, if anybody gets in your face, tell them you're chilling.
And we want to thank everybody again, and we will catch you later.